Hey, what's up, world? Yours truly, Ben Broadnax. Hey, I'm coming before you today, man. I'm just saying that, man, my heart is my heart is heavy for the nation. My prayers are with the families of those young black men that were killed at the hands of police officers. Uh, my heart is with the families of those police officers in Dallas that were killed just trying to do their job. In fact, all the indications I've gotten, I've spoken with a few police officers down there this morning, that these guys were standing uh, in line with the protesters to make sure that that the protesters were protected. You know that they had a right to protest, and so these police officers were standing with them. Uh, we have to be careful about generalizations and categorizing and stereotyping and all that good stuff. I gave 21 years of my life to the police force, and anybody in the communities that I serve, y'all know how I was. I kept it 100 all the way. You know, my job was to keep you out of jail for the most part, uh, not necessarily sending people to jail. It's kind of like, you change the oil in your car uh, before the motor lock. You don't wait till the motor lock and then say, I need an oil change. So I made sure that I did preventive things in the community to keep it from getting to the point where we see it now, where there is no relationship between police and community. I built trust with the communities that I served. Uh, and I have a hard time with people that have no compassion for these guys and gals that are just trying to do their job, man. They're not responsible. Just like in America, you know, all blacks ain't thieves and thugs and dope dealers and criminals and niggas. No, it's some decent people out here. And the N word if you're not sure what that means. Uh, so I have a problem with being categorized and stereotyped. So I'm gonna apply that same principle when it comes to police officers. There's a lot of excellent police officers out there. And thanks, DL. I'm with you, man. There's a lot of great police officers out there, man, and that have a passion for what they do. I got in police work because I admired the Officer Day and the guys that came through Castle Point and the Officer Booker and Officer Calloway and George Buckner and all those guys that worked St. Louis City. They kind of looked out for us, man. They were no nonsense guys, but they looked out for us. So I said, man, when I grow up, I want to be a helpful police officer. I want to be a guy that can be a big brother to some, a father figure to others. And that's why I want to be a police officer, man, not to try to abuse my authority, though you have some that'll do that, but that's in anything. In any profession, you're gonna have people that can't handle being in an authoritative position. That's true with politicians, that's true with police officers, that's true with security guards, that's true with preachers, that's true in any profession, man. You're gonna have people that they use a profession for their own personal gain. So with that being said, man, the people that are on my page that are talking about it's good for those cops, this, that, and the other, man, I'm gonna have to delete you out my circle because I sympathize with the brothers that were killed by the police officers. Those police officers, you gotta know, man, you gotta know that life is a revolving circle, and that which you sow, you will also reap. I promise you that, you know. And I tell everybody that God is still in control. So I'm going to continue to keep my faith. I'm going to continue to pray on what we're going through as a nation because we're reverting back to activities of the 50s and the 60s. Now for those cops that if you're afraid to be the police, turn your damn badge and gun in. Simple as that. You know, they passing laws where it's justifiable for a police officer to kill somebody because they felt in fear of their life. Well, in that case, the citizens have the same, should have the same rights. If you scared to be in the job that you ain't, get you another job. It's just that simple. You know, I like to believe that if you give respect, you get it back in return. But you can't take respect. You can't do it. It's impossible to take respect. On the other hand, it's hard for me as a black man to disrespect somebody that I have a relationship with. So police, that might be where you want to start, trying to build a relationship in the communities that you serve. Because I'm getting reports, man, and I'm hearing stuff that it's all out war on the police officers. And these guys don't have any heart or remorse for whatever may happen. And I'm praying that that's not the case. But man, these people are fed up. These people are fed up with what's going on. And in America, as African American, as an African American man, as an African American police officer, man, I had run in with police officers in full uniform that told me that my badge and gun didn't mean nothing if I didn't earn it through where they got theirs from. Well, I just happen to know that I went through St. Louis County Police Academy, and our standards were quite a bit higher than some other academies. And I'm just gonna leave it at that. So I earned mine. They didn't give it to me, I earned mine. And even going through that process was hell as an African-American recruit, you know, so, you know, we gotta, you know, stop wearing our emotions on our sleeve, man. If you wanna change what's going on, I continue to tell people that one, we have to stick together politically, economically. Politically, I say that because when you don't vote, you get mayors, governors, lieutenant governors, state representatives, Congress, senators. You get people in office that don't have your best interests in mind. So when it comes to voting, they're gonna vote on the people who paying them the most campaign funds. And it may not necessarily benefit you nor your community. They're gonna appoint people who they deem their friends to be judges and police chiefs and city administrators, and they're gonna hire people that they're comfortable with. And they may not necessarily look like you and I. So when you don't cast your vote, when you don't get involved, you're giving them a blank check or a loaded gun. Now you take it either way you want to take it to do whatever they want to do in your community. Man, it's sad that it takes Alton Sterling, Michael Brown, so on and so forth, for us to wake up and be mad. Be mad and do something about it. Don't just protest and then come election time, you stay at home and nobody vote. Man, you get these people out of office. That way we can put pressure on people that are in office to appoint some African-American judges that know something about the history of our community and the struggles that we went through as African-Americans and can deal with that. But when you got somebody that have no history about what we go through as African-American people in this country, you know, I listened to Tom Joyner this morning, and I listened to the replay of the white lady that had an audience full of white folks, and she said, "How many of you all would like to change places with the black folks and go through what they go through? Stand up." And nobody stood up, and she made her point without even saying another word. Because now, if you're saying that you don't want to stand up and go through what we're going through, you're saying to yourself, "Those black folks going through hell. And no, I don't want to go through that." And they're part of the hell that we're going through. So that was a point made, man. That was a $1 billion point that was made by that lady who happens to be white. And of course, she's getting a lot of hell from people that look like her for bringing that out. But I mean, the real is the real. So hey, I'm asking all of you to say a prayer for all those that are lost in this daily struggle that we go through in America. For those police officers that were lost their life just doing their job, and for those police officers that are yet still in surgery or in recovery, man, we pray for peace, man. That's all we doing. Hey, I love you. Thank God it's Friday. And if you're able to watch this, you should be thankful as well. Talk to you real soon. I've been Ben Broadnax at NaxQ on Twitter, NAXQUE, allschools, allclass.com. Peace.